Cloud9 taking on Spacestation Gaming here, and Cloud9 right now 1-3 in league play, definitely in a position where they need to find those wins, cannot really afford any more losses. Meanwhile, Spacestation looking like one of the best teams here in North America. Every caster, James, in the pre-show had to list like who's in your top two. Every single one of us said Spacestation is in that top two. How do you feel about Spacestation right now?
For me, Spacestation is definitely up there. I don't know if I would say top two just yet. They did take down NRG. They're the only team to have done that this season, but there's a lot of good-looking teams. We even saw the Sonics play. They're looking to be playing well. G2 is playing very well. So for me, those are the top four teams. All those teams that we had just mentioned, those are the teams that are going to be fighting for top two. I'm not ready to put Spacestation there yet, but a win here against Cloud9 would inch that closer to me. But, you know, the real story for me is Cloud9. These are former world champion players. They're players who have been around for such a long time in Rocket League eSports, been teamed for over 1,000 days. They are part of the history of Rocket League, a huge part of it. And this seems like maybe this is the season where things end for them if they don't manage to find a way to win and find a way to turn it around. And a win here against Spacestation, who's a top four team who's been playing well, this could revitalize their season.
Yeah, this is exactly what they need right now. Very much on the struggle bus. They've been struggling with this straight whiffing. Just the simple fundamental concept of touching the ball has been a problem for Cloud9, but we'll get into the match here and see how they do. Can they bounce back against one of the brightest squads in North America right now? We've got SSG in the orange, Cloud9 in the blue. A best of 5 here in week 5. Torment sets us up, Squishy now through the air onto the backboard, looking for the double tap, drops it down, and there's Squishy Muffins starting off hot.
Squishy has been the shining light for Cloud9 for this whole season, and this one, he used his boost perfectly. That was a picturesque double tap. It does not get better than that.
That was exactly the sort of energy they need, and it's the sort of energy that Cloud9 has built their success in Rocket League on, is these strong solo plays built by a strong support network as well. Let's see, can they keep it up here though? Spacestation, a team that has gone to Game 5 plenty of times this season, and been able to pull out the wins. Typical pass to one, Arsenal in the midfield, it's lofted high. Airborne challenges, keeps it neutral as AXB and Squishy clash in the midfield. Now Torment with lots of space. Got Typical up to challenge him, drops it down for Arsenal, barely beats Gimmick, but no, it just stays neutral. Now Torment looking for the flick, puts it up high, AXB will push it off to the edge, and Typical will transition it into the blue.
Good challenge from Squishy, however. You saw Typical wanting to go for a flip reset play, closed it down, and now Gimmick going for this challenge here. It's a lot of pressure on Squishy to get this stop, but that bump from Gimmick did wonders.
AXB pushes it into the corner. So looking for that first goal, gets it through 2, it's out to Typical, looks for the shot, can Gimmick get there in time? Oh, he does, and Squishy finds the clear. Spacestation, an excellent look at the net, but not able to push it through. The defense holds, and now the counterattack, they're gonna have to play some defense of their own.
Gimmick bailed Cloud9 out right there. There was a missed touch, I believe it was from Torment. A missed touch that resulted in that pressure. Gimmick, a miraculous save to preserve the lead.
AXB with a miss, now Arsenal just looking to see if he can hold on to ball control in enemy territory. Gimmick's got other ideas and puts it to the midfield, but here's Typical up to Arsenal, gets it around Torment, and we got a tie game.
And it seemed like it was just a matter of time with how much pressure we were seeing from Spacestation, and that pass from Typical was so good. There was a player that was challenging his angle towards the backboard straight ahead, but he passed it around him to the left. Arsenal was ready and waiting, and a quality strike.
Typical now off the kickoff. Following this in, looks for a bump on one in net. Torment gets it to the corner. When Arsenal's not able to gain control, Gimmick to play the midfield. Squishy's out on the chase. Back across and in front of the Spacestation net. AXB will find a clear. Gimmick dumps it to the midfield. Squishy Muffins demolished, but no one else on Spacestation makes contact with the ball. We'll roll all the way to their corner, and Cloud9 will be able to move up. Now a crazy counter clear from Typical all the way back down to the corner. Comes off the edge, and then Squishy manages to find a clear.
And that was a very quality clear from Squishy as well. Wave, you saw him angle up. The clear was so good. Arsenal was on the wall waiting for it, and it still got by him.
So AXB out in front of the box. Squishy now. Stretch. Arsenal gets dunked by one, and now AXB Rotating back, leaves it for Sypical, gets called off the ball. Sypical not able to find contact. Cloud9 doing a good job of holding onto the ball and winning challenges in the 1v1 department. It's giving them a lot of ball control in this game. So we're across halftime, still tied up at 1. Bench back out in front of the box. Squishy Muffins tries to get it past 2, but won't get the play off. Space Station now back to the midfield. Sypical holding on to this, but low on boost. He's going to try and play the small ball with Torment, but he just keeps it right on his hood. Space Station still struggling to get this ball to the corner. Now Arsenal, not a ton of boost, and Gimmick takes it away from him. Sypical underneath 1. Now into the corner once more, and man, this Cloud9 defense just holding on to the corners. There's a demolition that might open it up. AXP takes the shot and puts it through. Space Station takes the lead.
Arsenal escapes Gimmick so closely here. Watch as Gimmick is blazing in, and AXP rather dodged it. It looks like there might have even been some sparks of a glancing blow. Had Gimmick gotten that demo, that would have saved things for Cloud9, but Space Station, they are setting up camp in the Cloud9 half.
Oh, AXB bumped off the backboard, nearly finds the bump on Sypical, who comes out of net and does make the clear. 1:30 left to go. Cloud9 has put up a valiant effort, but Space Station does hold on to the lead right now. Squishy off to the side. Sypical, an attempt. AXB, the miss in the midfield, opens up space. Torment over to Squishy for the tying game. No! Sypical makes the diving save, and AXB will find a clear to midfield. Here comes Space Station looking to secure the win with 1 minute left in game number 1. Arsenal onto the backboard. Squishy backpedaling here, doesn't make contact. Arsenal gets the pass. No! Gimmick and Net will make the save. They'll keep it a 1-goal game. And now looking to tie it up. Demolitions rain everywhere. Gimmick, the shot towards the goal. AXB's got it away. Torment on the far side, back in. Gimmick, another demolition. Things have gotten so physical. Now a 1v3 momentarily. Sypical in the midfield will just try to keep it in enemy territory. And oh my goodness, things lighten up, James.
An insane amount of demos on both ends. We saw Space Station getting the most benefit out of it from their aggression, but Cloud9 jumping right back into the pit, throwing a few punches of their own, but a double commit. This is bad for Cloud9. AXB, the closer that Des talked about, gets his second of the game off of this misplay from Cloud9.
And they looked for that just midfield across the center pass, and it's completely intercepted. AXB's got an open net to shoot at. 19 seconds left, and this one's looking over. But I have enjoyed a refreshing presence from Cloud9. It's felt like they've had a lot of opportunities to score, and the defense has turned them away most of the time here. Their only goal, though, was the one at the very beginning of the game, as this one's going to wrap down to the end. Space Station's going to be able to clean up game number 1 just fine.
It seemed like things would be, off to a good start for Cloud9 with the Squishy double tap. It was the picturesque, picture-perfect double tap from Squishy. And then things started to fall apart for Cloud9. We saw them make a few good defensive stops, but Space Station, they were overwhelming. They were smothering. We saw Arsenal getting demos, Sypical getting saves, AXB putting shots on target, Arsenal being downfield. Sypical, even the pass to Arsenal was something else. And then you pair that with the mistake that Cloud9 made, that one defensive play. We see Gimmick and Torment not on the same page. You saw Gimmick was already airborne. Torment hit that into the middle for AXB. It was just not what you want to see from Cloud9. More defensive mistakes.
Yeah, the prettiest goal in this series easily was Squishy's goal at the very beginning. Everything from Space Station was pretty simple. It was just punishing mistakes, just pushing balls in, saying thank you so much for the opportunity. We'll take that goal. We're happy to use it. And they don't have to play exciting Rocket League right now. And I'm scared for Cloud9 if they can't be strong enough on defense and Space Station's able to win on just simple goals. They're not even having to push them out of their comfort zone. I don't know what Cloud9's going to do.
It's going to be tough. And for me, the part that's making it tough is Arsenal's upfield. He's grabbing boost. He's getting those demos. And you also have Sypical coming out of the backfield, who is putting pinpoint passes on, very damaging hits towards net that wear down Cloud9 little by little. And that offense of Space Station, it's a lot to put up with. We even saw, the holes that they can create, even when there is quality defense. We saw Cloud9 get multiple saves. Gimmick bailed them out with a couple good saves. But in the end, Space Station, too many opportunities for them to stop them all.
Well, we'll move into game 2. Space Station up by 1 and now looking to get the lead here in game 2. Arsenal airborne off the backboard. Here comes AXB. No one's really up to challenges. All 3 commit. Sypical puts it back in. AXB's got just enough boost, maybe. Jumps it back into the box, but it doesn't quite get it on target, and the defense will be able to sort themselves back out here in just enough time, it looks like, and Cloud9 will survive the triple commit, a rare situation where all 3 players go up, don't make contact, and the goal still doesn't get turned in, but Space Station turns this right back around. Puts it back down. AXB to the edge, nearly, oh, are you kidding me? How does this go in?
This was filthy from AXB. He jumps immediately, reads the bounce, gets that, I don't even know if it was a double tap with how quickly he bounced or jumped off the wall. That was something else.
I think that replaces Squishy's shot now as my favorite shot of the series.
He flipped into that ball, it seemed immediately off the wall. He must have been spamming jump. And then to get that read at that angle, AXB, he was the player, if you watched a lot of last season or in the season before, AXB, you expected him to be more of a support player, more of a player who's doing things on the back end, trying to help elevate his teammates. And now, this season, he has been playing lights out. He has been the one who has been making the flashy plays. And it's something else to see, Waypoint.
It's been pretty incredible. I mean, oh, here comes Cloud9 on the far side. A shot from Squishy's just wide. As they have kind of decent presence on offense here in the past 45 seconds or so, but only one really good look at the net. And now 3 minutes left to go in game number 1. Still looking for that first goal. Sypical cranks one towards the back. Here comes the shot from AXB. Cleans it up nicely, and that's 2-0 for Space Station.
AXB adding another one as we see Sypical even driving at Squishy Muffins. You saw him driving at Squishy Muffins. Squishy had to just sit there because if he goes and jumps for the play, Sypical can jump right into him and go for the demo. Cloud9 has been stuck on their goal line. It's been a bloodbath here for Space Station.
Sypical gets and keeps it in the box. Arsenal couldn't quite get the read. It looked like AXB was going to have a free third goal, but the counterattack from Cloud9 comes through. I think Space Station got baited in by that juicy opportunity.
Yeah, you saw AXB trying to race back, and Arsenal almost got a touch on the ball. Torment was able to connect on that hit, and Cloud9 right back into this one. Just 1 goal back. That was a close counterattack play. That almost got cut out.
Here comes AXB. Cloud9 now on the board. The drop comes back down for Torment, but AXB's got it away. Right here at halftime, Space Station took the win in game number 1, and now they've got the lead here in game number 2. And what is developing the Space Station series, Cloud9 is definitely holding on and looking, I would say, the best they've looked so far this season.
I think they're looking pretty good. I don't know about the best that I've seen, as we saw some mistakes earlier in game 1, but they are showing those flashes of Cloud9, and they tend to do that every series that they've played. They have those moments where you think maybe Cloud9 is back, but they haven't been able to put it together for a whole series.
I like the play from Squishy. He found the pass, and now a shot from Torment just high, and Arsenal will bounce it off the floor and back out to the edge. AXB with the stretch, and Arsenal now looking for the cherry pick, puts it towards the goal, but Torment will be up in time to make the stop. Sypical out of the backfield, pass to 1, pass 2. He's out of boost, but can he find a way around the third? Gives the brakes to Squishy, but Torment and Squishy will be able to get that one back across midfield. And now Squishy with the shot. Gimmick looks for the redirect, but AXB's got it. Now popped high, Sypical through the air, across 1, 40 boost left to work with, goes for the carry over, no, Squishy gets it high. AXB now airborne. Torment beats him to the ball, an open backfield here, and Arsenal races back to get control. 1:15 left to go, still a 1-goal game, and Cloud9 knocking on the door. Arsenal's going to pass it across to Sypical off the enemy backboard. And AXB will keep this one deep in the blue. Final minute approaching here, Cloud9 still trailing by 1. AXB lofted. Sypical and Squishy on the challenge. Arsenal's airborne here, and Torment gets a piece of it. Gimmick do this by himself, but what a read. The Space Station defense actually finds the read on that second touch. And Sypical with a shot towards the backfield. Squishy's there. Now up. There's Sypical. Back down. Gimmick will launch it. Sypical and AXB looking to hold on defense past one. Burning time off the clock as well, baiting all of Cloud9 into this corner. Squishy's going to try and use a flip reset, but no good. His Gimmick's up. Past one. Squishy now looking for a pass across, maybe back down to Gimmick. Torment's there, but AXP, they're just in their faces. They know exactly where the shot's coming from over and over again. Space Station's defense is insane, and with 8 seconds left, the final attempt for Cloud9. Can Torment hold on to this? Gets it back across, but Arsenal over the top of Squishy. Squishy demolished just to add insult to injury. Space Station runs away with game number 2.
You saw Squishy wanted to go for the dribble, and he was in position to catch the ball, but Sipical deletes him off the field. And again, AXB, the goal scorer for Space Station, getting the only 2 of this game. And Cloud9, 1 goal away from being swept. And this is what you expected from the results coming into the series, but I'm sure so many out there hoped that maybe this was the week that Cloud9 would find their stride.
Well, for sure, and I think that with the Space Station, they're entering kind of this smooth part of their schedule. They've got Cloud9 this week, then Flight on Monday. They also have Rogue coming up. Those are the next 3 teams they play. And anyone who's been watching the beginning of the season would say those are all 3 simple series that Space Station can easily win. But I think that there is a trap in going into that with that mentality of approaching these as like, oh, these are guaranteed wins. And Cloud9 is as veteran of a team as anybody here in this league. They're going to be approaching this with all of their energy. This was definitely a potential upset series. And Space Station, though, they have done exactly enough to get through so far. They're not overexerting themselves. They're just playing clean Rocket League, James.
They certainly are, and it's been clinical, and they've punished Cloud9. Cloud9 hasn't really had much room to be creative. You even see on the defensive end, a lot of times when Cloud9 is going for those clears, their teammates are actually retreating back for boost. And most of the time when you're going for clears, you want to have someone already boosted up on the wall, ready to assist. So Cloud9 have just not been able to break out because of the smothering boost stealing and offensive pressure that SSG has brought in this series.
Squishy looking for a dribble out in a critical must-win game here for Cloud9. Arsenal onto the backboard. Torment up, doesn't get enough of a touch. What an adjustment from Sipical, though, to finish it off, and Space Station scores first again.
Arsenal going for backboard. This is a very difficult read for Torment. He's trying to get to the ball to the corner, and Sipical, like you said, that adjustment midair, because he knew that ball was awkward for Torment. When you see those and you see a defender going up in a situation like that, you're expecting that it doesn't go perfectly.
Oh, Arsenal nearly gets the air carry on the kickoff to get a second goal here for Space Station. But in the meantime, Cloud9 defense holds on. Arsenal stretch out to Sipical. Extension to the corner, and AXP will chase. Squishy over the top of him. Here comes Cloud9 now onto offense. They wrap this into the corner. Great clear from Arsenal. And Torment, quick adjustment in the midfield to pick that one up. Falls back to earth, and Squishy will look for the pass down. AXB cuts off. Doesn't give it to Gimmick. Flick over one. Sipical up. Stretches it up high. Is anybody there? AXB comes in to find the angle. My goodness, what a recovery. These guys playing on fire right now.
And the flick from AXB, the speed from Sipical, AXB getting the recovery on all fronts. Space Station is playing lights out, and AXB is having quite the series. He has to be the nominee for Player of the Day from the series, for me at least, Wavepunk, as he has been critical in so many plays.
Oh, finds a crazy another shot. This one just a bit high. Sipical fall back, being pressured here by Squishy, but now up for it. Actually just bumps Squishy off the ball, leaves it for AXB. And Gimmick will get this one off the back wall, but Cloud9 doing just enough to keep it in the orange right now. Sipical now through the air. Flip reset to work with. Stolen. Squishy takes it away and now advances up on offense. Hoping to find his teammates, but AXB dribbles it past one. Now Gimmick with the challenge. Gets it off of his hood. Onto the backboard. Space Station stretches it further. And it's all the way the length of the field into the blue. Sipical will look for the dribble, but Gimmick and Dominus getting in the way. Now AXB back across the goal once more. And is constantly changing directions on Cloud9 here. They are struggling to find meaningful clears as Sipical gets a pass two. The double committed net is needed just to get the defense, just to keep that one out of the goal. Arsenal now trying in the corners. Gimmick gets a pass one. AXB off the back wall. Another touch from Sipical goes wide. As Squishy makes another stop. The defense from Cloud9's holding on, but oh my goodness, Space Station continues to just breathe down their neck in the box. So many players. And AXB now out of boost, just going to try and stall this out, gets it past the transitional offense, and there won't be a counterattack today, James.
And I was going to say, wait, Bugger, no, the counterattack.
Never mind.
It happened. The caster curse.
To be fair, Arsenal passed it straight back to them, and AXB's like, whoa, bud, come on. I wasn't ready for that.
And that was such a strange series of events, because I was getting ready to comment on how a lot of times we'll make remarks that talk about how one team can't even get it out of their own half. But for a good 30 seconds, Cloud9 couldn't even get the ball out of their box.
Yeah. It was an extremely tight defensive stand there, and it does result in a goal on the other end, even if it is a punishment of a mistake. But that's what Space Station's made their bread and butter this series, so Cloud9 happy to do a bit of cashing in of their own. With 1:58 left to go, though, they've got to find one more. Again, a must-win game. As Space Station won the first two, now look for the passes back. Oh, the pass just behind AXB. Arsenal will chase it himself. Keeps that pace on the ball. Two defenders commit. Here comes AXB. Squishy's really caught in a bad spot. AXB misses, though, and that keeps the game within reach for Cloud9.
And that was a huge mistake from Cloud9. Again, it was Gimmick and Torment both throwing themselves at it. Squishy, he just had to watch that ball. If it was on target, it was going in the net. Cloud9 getting away with one. We'll see if they make the most of it. Still down by one.
AXB with the attempt. Cloud9 continuing to pressure this one. Space Station can technically afford to miss goals right now, but you know the 2-goal buffer is really a cherished possession in RLCS. They would love to just have the comfort of not having to, to think about pinches and fluke shots. This Gimmick puts it back into the corner. All three players from Space Station there. The touch upwards is just enough. Squishy can't get a read on it, and now Sypical out of midfield, keeping it close by as Torment's just trying to tackle him off the ball here. Squishy will crowd the box as well. Now Arsenal moves in the final minute. It's all up to Cloud9. The slow play. Man, Space Station playing so smart, understanding they have control of this series, forcing Cloud9 to make the mistakes. But a miss in defense. Torment puts it to the upper corner. The misses are just enough, and Torment makes it count. It's a tie game.
Squishy puts a hard hit to the corner, and it looked like he was going for a bump on Sypical. Maybe that's why Sypical was forced to jump earlier than he was ready, or just at a different time. And Torment, that was the best place shot that you can make. And Cloud9 are right back in.
Right when they needed it too. So clutch from Torment, and now looking to see if they can finish this off in regulation. They still got 23 seconds left. AXB with a high hit, a demolition on the Sypical in his own box. Squishy with the chase, but he's out of boost. It's just a threat. And now Gimmick putting it high again. Sypical to Arsenal. Just enough of a touch. Back down to Sypical. There's nobody home. No, it's Squishy in the net. They get it out from him. Sypical going to try and stretch it to Arsenal. Gimmick's up. Now back down. Squishy with one last attempt. A full boost to work with. AXB gets the block. Are we going to overtime? Gimmick gets bumped off it. We will. In game 3, Cloud9 has to score this goal.
That was some good defense. And those final seconds, AXB had to throw himself in front of Squishy.
Ooh. Gimmick through the air. AXB onto one. Squishy now sends it from midfield. The defense just barely gets there in time. Arsenal off the back wall, but Gimmick with a miss. Torment with control. And the positioning's been all there for Cloud9 as Squishy's up through it. AXB gets it away, but Gimmick with all the space in the world. He'll pick up this ball into the corner once again. Two players on the backboard. And Arsenal trying to clear it. Squishy's right there where the clear comes through. Now onto the backboard again. One goalie demolished. Sypical's got to hold on to it. Torment puts it just high. Arsenal doesn't make contact. Gimmick will score. Cloud9 stays alive, and we go to game 4.
And that all started out with Squishy actually got a bump on Sypical. Sypical still powered through. Torment wasn't able to hit the mark, but Gimmick, after that flurry from Cloud9, finally put in the winner, and Cloud9 are still in it.
They stay alive, Jim. Man, and that overtime, that in whole overtime, it was just Cloud9. Even the kickoff, the very beginning, they had an opportunity to score right away. Space Station barely gets, they barely make the defensive stand, but they don't transition into offense. I don't think that ball was in the blue. I don't think it was in anywhere near the Cloud box that entire overtime.
It didn't seem like it. Cloud9 really started to hit their stride near the last half of that game. It started out pretty bleak. Space Station They were controlling the pace, they were controlling the game, and then we saw that goal that they gave up. When they had Cloud9 locked in their own box for so long, and they gave up that goal right after you said that Cloud9's not going to score a counterattack goal, and then they get a free one. And that was the difference in this game.
No, and then like you said, the missed shot from AXB, probably the simplest shot he had taken all season, or all series. That one miss, that's the difference between overtime and the series being over right now, and us going into game 4. So Cloud9, well done to them. They stay alive, and man, gotta give credit to Torment too. That one shot, the upper corner, perfect placement. One of the only shots he had available to him, made it work.
And then Gimmick getting the overtime goal. So everyone from Cloud9 making plays on this one. And Space Station, it was the opposite. They made some mistakes. That net, like you said, for AXB, especially with the series that he's been having, scoring a lot of good goals, he just needed to put that one in, and he came up short. So we'll see if he has it in him to help close out this series for Space Station.
Well, generally in series where we expect a team to win, kind of a potential upset series, Game 3 is the game that the underdog, does win. That trend would hold true here if Space Station were able to get the win in Game 4. As it plays out, AXB over to the edge. Arsenal gets countered by Gimmick. Pushes it through and then continues to put pressure on Sipical here, but finds a nice long clear. Arsenal in a deep cherry pick will just rotate out, leave it for Sipical in the corner. He pinches it with Torment, and it goes all the way back to the orange. A nice touch in the midfield. Sipical stalls this out. AXB's not really in position to make use of this, though. He's got to get up and play defense. Does so cleanly. Off to the corner it goes, and he and Sipical will try and stretch this one back into Cloud9's half. Torment. Down to the corner. Arsenal's back down. Gimmick was he too far forward, and that one just rolls on in.
Gimmick was cheating up. He was expecting Squishy to get a challenge there. He was thinking that Squishy was going to perhaps get a 50-50. Maybe it'll kick off the ceiling. Gimmick wanted to be in position in case there was a rebound opportunity, but Squishy didn't get a hit on the ball, and the ball launched all the way back towards net. You can't really blame Gimmick too much for that one. From his angle, it seemed like it was very likely, if not 100% likely, that Squishy was going to at least get a piece of it, so that doesn't happen.
Oh, double commit on offense. Won't be punished as Arsenal is able to clean up the clear just fine. Cloud9 trailing once more. But they found a way back in Game 3. Can they do it again here in Game 4? Now up. Sipical on the edge. Going to chase this. See if he can do it himself. Still has boost in the tank to work with. Gets a pass two. Squishy not really in a great spot. On that, gets caught on that corner and then out of position. Nobody really set up on the goal line. Both players missed. Arsenal should have free contact here over the top of one. Squishy will hold on to it as he positions on the backboard cleanly and gets a carry over the midfield defense. Maybe no punishments today as Torment through one. Arsenal back down into this corner. Gimmick will push it through. Cloud9 just trying to muscle their way into the box. Struggling to get it into a shootable position, though. Now a 2v1 here. The pass across. Sipical gets cut off from behind by Squishy. Arsenal now come on back into the corner. Gimmick's touch goes into the midfield. There's one bump. AXB pushes it back deeper, but not in a position really to take a shot. Now crosses the box. Sipical looks for it, but Squishy blocks everything as he trails behind that ball. Here at halftime, still just the 1-goal lead for Space Station.
And we saw Cloud9 starting to position in their own box, getting ready for the pressure that they know is coming from Space Station. AXB with the boost still. He'll kickstart this. We'll see how Cloud9 cope.
Torment with the long touch into the corner. Squishy provides pressure, but Sipical able to handle just fine. Arsenal bumped off into Skyland, but AXB comes in quickly, picking it up. Torment in front of him. Backwards, just a little bit of boost to his name, passes across to the box, but Sipical waited for the defensive touch, and the defensive touch came through.
And I like
Arsenal
the idea from AXB, however, going for that dribble in the corner. He knew that someone was going to be near post, but Cloud9 sniffed that out easily.
Gimmick to the edge. 149, Cloud9 still shut out here in Game 4. Everything up against the wall. They've got to find a way tie this game and then get the lead back. As Gimmick up for it, pushes it on to the crossbar. So close. The best look they've had this series, or this game rather. It's no good. As Gimmick now in the midfield. A pass across to Squishy, over across the Gimmick back. Oh, but he doesn't make contact. It kind of found its way like Swiss cheese through all the defense. but the shot is not there, and now Sypical looking for a counterattack. A flick over two. Gimmick up will get the stop, but here comes the rest of Space Station. One clear. Back to the midfield. Gimmick with a touch on the wall. Stretch back down. Sypical will get it behind one. Gimmick looks for the bump on AXB, just crowds him away. Squishy should find the shot. AXB somehow finds the miraculous save. And with the final minute here, it's still 1-0 Space Station.
Squishy thought that he had done enough harassing AXB in the net, but AXB still kept his eye on the ball and was able to step up and preserve the lead. Fantastic defense from AXB.
And that might be the one that wins in the game here, James. AXB now out to the edge. Sypical and Arsenal both in this corner. Just keeping this ball in the most awkward dead spot for Cloud9. The bump. Sypical will get it up high. Squishy comes in, still looking for the goal. It's on the line. Arsenal will tuck it off to the corner, and Gimmick's got to find 2 more touches to get it back in a shootable position. AXB stretches it out as there's 19 seconds left. Squishy up onto the wall, trying to avoid a 1-4 record. He's got it back across. The diving touches from Gimmick, just looking to block any defenders, and Sypical just punts it high again, burns more time off the clock. Torment into the corner. Arsenal back to midfield. And then no position for Squishy, over the top of 2 into a dead empty corner. It'll drop down, and that's Space Station in 4. 1 goal was all it took.